Hello, welcome. So I'm going to be talking about the crown chakra. I've been talking about each chakra. I'm making a mini series explaining the energy behind each chakra and the function. So if you haven't seen any of those, I encourage you to check them out. So let's get right into it. So when it comes to the crown chakra, this is the chakra you use to pretty much structure all of the different chakras. How the chakras are going to operate is dictated by this chakra ultimately. The crown chakra pretty much has the say in how and when certain emotions, certain thoughts, and certain ways of doing things will be presented for the sake of your structure, how you're perceived, how you present yourself, how others see you. And it's based on doing this from a mental standpoint. I correlate the crown chakra with the what I call the creator mind. I also call it the I am, because it's like how you present yourself, right? Like, I am this way, and then your crown chakra looks into each of the other chakras to create that identity. I am this way because I'm involved in this, or I feel this way about these things. It's all about creating that identity. So then when you present yourself, you know who you are, you know what you create, you know what you're about, you want people to see a certain way, and you want to present yourself a certain way so then you can get on a certain path. And so when it comes to the crown chakra, this chakra, I call it like the head honcho to all of the other mind states, because of the fact that it can see how each mind state works within you. Ultimately, this is the aspect of you. This crown chakra is where you see things from a higher angle when it comes to your physical reality, at least, and possibly even your imagination and your thoughts. Not really so much your subconscious, because it's subconscious for a reason, right? Your subconscious mind is linked with your heart space, your heart chakra. And yes, your crown chakra has the ability to perceive the subconscious, but only when your crown chakra has expanded enough to perceive those areas of you. This chakra is just like the other chakras, where you need to expand and see you can only see based on what you're aware of. So if you're not aware of something, you're not going to see it. Okay, even if it's right in front of you, you're not going to see it. And this crown chakra can tune into each of the chakras to see where you've expanded. Because ultimately, it's about how you present yourself, how you structure yourself, how you see yourself and how others see you. And it can be like the ego, because with the ego, that's a mental aspect, and that's all about your unique and original identity, like how you express yourself. And when it comes to the crown chakra, this is also a mental aspect, except the crown chakra has the potential of thinking more long term, as with the ego, that's more short term. So let's say I wanted to ace a test, right? My ego is like, I'm going to ace this test because I'm going to get with these friends and study with them because they always get good tests or get good grades on their tests. And I'm going to make sure my teacher is aware that I'm going to bug my teacher, so then they're aware that I really want to pass this. And yes, that's also what your crown does. However, your ego can think very short term. Okay. So in the end, your ego could completely decide, like, I don't have to work as hard because I put in all of that energy, gathering up with those friends. Maybe they can just give me the answers, or maybe I can just call out sick because I talked to the teacher and they know I want to pass. Maybe they'll give me a retest. So the ego can do that. As for the crown chakra, it really is about just seeing the bigger picture. Like, if I want to pass this test, I need to study every day, and I'm going to stay up late in order to pass this test. And it's not considering the emotional setbacks you may have, because it's a mental aspect. It definitely can. If you have enough awareness towards yourself to perceive that, then it can see that maybe you'll have some emotional setbacks. However, usually the response of the crown chakra is to just see things from a mental perspective. So it's thinking, I'm going to stay up late so then I can get a really good grade on this test. But it's not considering that maybe there will be some days where you just don't feel like it. Maybe you're really not that disciplined because you procrastinate and you have certain feelings that you get engulfed in that prevent you from staying focused. So it can consider that if you have enough self-awareness, or it may not consider that because it's a mental aspect. It's only seeing how and where and how you have to do stuff. And it can just think long term about how to do that without considering the emotional aspects of you. So because it can tune into each chakra and it can perceive each chakra and what each chakra is programmed with, it can perceive based on your own self-awareness. So if you have a great sense of self-awareness, then using your crown chakra, you notice that you can expand on a lot and you can create a lot. You can get yourself from point A to point B fairly easily, as opposed to not being aware of your own habits and yourself. If you weren't aware of yourself, you know that it would be harder to even just work with yourself and who you are and all the urges you may have. So when it comes to the crown chakra, this creator mind, this mental aspect, it can think long term. And it does so without having to consider the emotional aspects of how to get from point A to point B. But it can think into the emotional aspects of who you are when there's self-awareness towards those spaces. And I consider the crown chakra as like head honcho to each mind state, because of the fact that it can perceive each chakra, each program that's within each chakra. So let's say when it comes to like your sacral, your crown chakra knows that you have urges, right? Like certain urges, like it could be any kind of urge, or that emotional urge is what I'm talking about. So your crown chakra is going to be responsible for structuring that aspect of you within its reality. So then those urges can either be satisfied in some way, or you can get your needs met, your emotional needs met. However you must do it, it'll make sure that you do that because it has the potential of thinking long term. But if you, let's say you have like your ego, your ego is also a mental aspect. So think of your ego as something that thinks more short term, you know, like it needs to have things now in order to feel comfortable. Like it'll even feel tempted to participate in get rich quick schemes just so it can have that level of comfort now, even if it hasn't established a status of some sort. The ego is what allows you to make it appear as if you have that already, even if it must do so through illusions. And the crown chakra is what knows that isn't the case. So it still knows that it isn't the case. So you can take the many steps with your ego to I guess, in a way, be what you want to see. You know, you put your personality or your identity, your originality out there, your uniqueness out there, just so over time, this crown chakra can really see the benefits of the accumulation of energy, the accumulation of you participating in that energy. Your crown chakra can see that on a grander scale. So that makes these two aspects both mental, because it doesn't take emotions to really do that. Yes, you do tap into like your emotions. You should be balancing your emotions when it comes to, you know, how you think logically. You do want to consider emotions. Otherwise, it seems as if you're acting egotistically or even in a self-centered or self-serving manner. But if you are considering your emotions, then your crown chakra will be able to balance that. It'll be able to dictate, okay, this is the time and place for emotions. This isn't the time and place for emotions. This is where I need to think more logically. And I need to really look over this plan before I commit to it. Or I need to really consider how I feel emotionally about this and put that on the forefront, so then I don't end up in a situation where I'm emotionally drained. And so that crown chakra helps you do all of that. So if you like this video and you like my mini series and you haven't checked it out or whatever, you should go check it out. If you liked it, hit the thumbs up button. It really helps me get into the algorithm. Other than that, I will see you in my next video.